Well, the thing about living by the seaside is when it's too hot to sit indoors, which it is tonight so far, the temperature is in centigrade, it's 30. So let's just go for a walk to the beach. And look at that, we've got water. Normally I sort of take pictures of the mud here, but yeah, the tide is in, and if you look across the river, we've got a bit of a mist going on. There we are. It's good to look at. Well, although it's a Tuesday, no, it's not, it's Monday today. Ha! Feels like Tuesday. It's Monday. So it's a school night, and it's around about 7 o'clock in the evening. And yeah, well, there's the beach with people enjoying it and people swimming, and yeah, that seems like the thing to do, doesn't it, really? Now, here's a little thing about, well, is it about safety or common sense? I don't know. Right, if you look at all of this water, it's nice and cool, it's lovely, and as you can see, there are people swimming in it. And you think, crikey, when the tide goes out here, it goes out fairly quickly. So it's quite useful to know whether the tide is going in or coming out. Now, to my left is the wide open sea. To my right is London. And all of these boats, if you look at them, they've all got a bow rope on. And they're all pointing towards the open sea, which means that the tide is still coming in. So if you're swimming out here, as these people are, and the current gets a little bit stronger than you thought it was, which, you know, it's not too strong where they are, but if it did, it's going to bring you in. Later on, and you know, I'm going to go for a little walk along here, and perhaps the tide might even turn while we're walking, we'll be able to see that the boats will turn around, face the other way when the tide goes out. But at the moment, with all the boats swinging on their bow ropes, facing the sea, we know that the tide is coming in. There's some brave souls. I wonder what boat they're going to. What happens here, sort of between Leigh-on-Sea and Chalkwell, is during the winter most of these boats are taken out and they're put up on the hard standing. And they get put back into the water sort of May, back end of April, May time. So by June they're all out here on the water, and the various people that own them will row out. Every so often they'll take one out to sea. So there's this intrepid pair of mariners rowing against the tide. I'm guessing they're going to one of those two yachts. yeah, sometimes it's good to just sort of stop walking, stand and stare, and then you see different things. There's some folk. Where are we? Some folk canoeing, and there's a little boat manoeuvring. It isn't just people that enjoy a swim. So that's an interesting old anchor, isn't it? It's old, it's interesting. I actually think that these stones are more interesting. They were stone steps from the old wharf up the end where I've just come from. Now, that means that probably people like Christopher Martin, and I'm trying to remember the names of the other people, the passengers on the Mayflower stepped over these stones. I'd just let that sink in a little bit, eh? One of the reasons for always carrying a camera is you just never know what you're going to see. I've walked as far as Leon Sea and I'm just strolling back, and I looked in this window and look at this wonderful big world in miniature. It's actually quite sweet, really, isn't it?
You all right? Not an actual club. There's so much easier. Relatively cheap, so I've already spent £15. Right?
Oh, there's a thing. The sun setting slowly over the houses. It was a good stroll. Saw plenty. The wind is slightly onshore, but it's a very calm evening. And as you can see, the boats are still facing out to sea.